I'm going to talk a little bit today about the Eduforia program and how the beta part in the test area is much easier to use for everybody. We would go to the Aware once you have logged in. You would go to Assessments to create an assessment. So you're going to create a new test. I'm going to create a new blank one like you would be doing. I'm going to label it Test 1. I am going to use the information that I am more familiar with, so I'm going to choose 8th grade and I'm going to choose math. You can click your start date, your end date. Always test type is local. Click your next. Pick your grade level. Like I said, I'm going to pick mathematics in 8th grade. And then finish. Let me switch back to the classic view. This is what the majority of you will see when you get into Eduforia when you're making a test. On this first page on your general, you can actually set your approaching, your meeting, and your mastering, which I do this. I have figured out what they are, and then you can figure out where your students are within that topic. But what I'm really going to talk to you about is this try beta up here in the right-hand corner where the mouse is. It's a much easier format when you are making a test. In this format, when you go to questions, you click on this and you search item bank and resources and things. But let me show you what the try beta does. And it might take it a while to pull up. Sometimes the internet is slow. So here's your first page, your questions. And here again, test 1, mathematics, local test. It's 8th grade. You can check that all of this is what you want. You can put in your approaching, meeting, and your mastering right here. Here's where you can delete it if you really want to get rid of this assessment. Pending is where you want to be to add questions. So right here where you see this plus button, you just click plus and you can either add your own test questions here or you can search the item bank here. Let's just say I want to work on let me use represent a linear situation with tables, graphs, and equations. When I click on that, I can actually see all the different questions that are here. Very easy compared to the other one, or anyway, I think this is easier. Over here on the right-hand side, you can click the type of question you want. Selected response is just something I always click. Sometimes I'll put a numerical, but most of the time I do selected response. Then down here, you can choose your complexity. What do you want? I try to choose medium to high on this, just so that the students are being challenged a little bit more. If you don't click anything here, they will all be labeled, and you can actually see what complexity they are over here as you scroll through. Then if you want certain ones, you can put them over here, and then they're over here on the left-hand side ready for you. And this is what happens a lot right now, so I'm going to show you how to take care of this. It's great. You need to highlight this code, right-click, and you need to copy it. And then you can't go any further right now anyway until you do this, so then you go ahead and click here. Put your email in, or if I could type. Well, that would be my name. And then you need to copy or paste that information right here, and then go ahead and submit the crash report. Then you can close. Then you can go back in to where you were, and we were in pending. If I'm doing this too fast, just follow along. We were on test 1. And it might show up, and it might not. So a lot of times what I do when this has happened, I try to click out and go back in, but evidently it's not going to do that. So I clicked the refresh button, and we are right back where we were. So I'm going to go back in and search my item bank, and I'm just going to click this right here using slope. Like I was talking about, your complexity is over here on the side. You can choose which ones you want. I'm just going to click on a bunch of these right here. And you can see them over here. You can see which ones you've added. And it tells you that you have 3 selected. Now if you go over here and you decide you don't want this particular question, you can exit out and it is gone. And so you can see the questions that you've put in. And then you can add those to the test. You can scroll down and click to add more to the test. Again, you can do your own questions, or you can search the item bank and add more questions as you feel there's needed for your test. I'm just going to click on this one and then add to my test. The next thing that you need to do in making the test is go ahead and make it active. And then the layout, what type of layout do you want? Intermediate, secondary, something like that. And you notice how at the top it always says saving. This is a nice feature in the beta because it saves it without you having to click save. Your test key is right here. It tells you everything you need to know, what is going on in this area. So then when you go to administration, this is where you click the students that you want to take the test. Students in selected courses, I pick 8th grade math, and then you see again it's saying saving, and that the class is already there. When you click collection, this is where all your testing information is. So your testing date, I just did it from today to tomorrow, these 2 days. Online testing right here, everybody should be able to click that. You see again it's saving at the top. When you are ready to actually start the test, right here the little play button is what you push. So you push that and then this will come up. When you click the start button, you should see the screen blink, and that means that the test has started. And maybe it will in this and maybe it won't, due to how crazy our system is today. So it should have started, and then you X out of that, and then you have everything right here ready to go. I always copy and paste this link right here into Google Classroom so that the students can go to Google Classroom, click on that, and then it takes them straight to Eduphoria, and then they can start their test. If you want to stop the test, of course, here's that button right here, and then you would stop online testing. And there it did blink, so you know it has stopped. You can always go back into your questions, and when it is in the pending form, you can actually edit questions. I have found several questions to not be correct or have the wrong answer, and so I would change things within, and then when you save it, you'll have it for next year.